Good morning, folks. The behavior of mainstream media leaves a lot to be desired. The CBS News this morning is trying to take credit for changes at Office of Refugee Resettlement based on a report that Madeleine Rowley wrote a few weeks back about refugee issues, and she talked to 10 refugees. Now, it's fascinating that CBS News and this conversation tries to take credit for all the changes. But as I previously reported, these changes were taking place long before this report ever came out. And the urgent action has a lot more to do with the likes of people like Shelley Hepburn and Mike from Keystone Refugee Services in Philadelphia, and myself and others who've been trying to highlight this and bringing this to attention. Now, I'm more than hopping mad at this. I'm not blaming Madeleine Rowley, but I am blaming CBS News for this bogus claim that they are taking action because of the Free Press report. That's utter nonsense. Also, Madeleine Rowley in this interview says that 700 South Africans have been contacted. Well, that's factually incorrect. I know that as of a week ago on Friday, it had been 1,100. And this I know because I had a conference call with the director of the Office of Refugee Resettlement, Angie Salazar, and her deputy. I talked to them, and they explained what's going on. They also explained to me that these changes have been coming for some time, that they put this in place, and they've been responding to folks like Mike and Shelley Hepburn and myself. To see the CBS News try to take credit for this is nauseating, and they lie and cover this up. Also, I'm the one that uncovered what's going on with the Afghan refugees. I'm the one that reported on what happened in Rochester, where an Afghan refugee was mistreated by Church World Service, left in a hotel for a week unattended, and now I'm hearing this being reported on CBS News. I'm sorry, I've got a problem with this. Now, again, I'm not blaming Rowley, but this guy interviewing her is making it appear as if CBS News and the Free Press, who work together, are owned by the same company. They're the ones that led these changes. When in fact, the director of the Office of Refugee Resettlement told me that some of these changes have been in effect for some time. This is poppycock. This is why you can't trust the media. You know, and I've reached out to this journalist and given her stories, and some of which I'm hearing appearing here. I don't understand why people behave in this fashion, CBS News. Why are you doing this? Why are you making these claims? So the original story that she did was based on 10 refugees. 10 refugees. At that time she did the story, I had spoken to over almost 800 refugees, and I only knew of about 20 or 34 cases. I knew about all of them that actually had this problem. And the CBS Free Press story made it sound as if this was much more widespread than it was. Well, now it's becoming more widespread because the numbers of refugees are growing, and these agencies are not improving their actions. But this change in OR is not a consequence of the Free Press report. This change is also not a consequence of Shelley Hepburn, myself, or Mike, or others. All of that plays a role here. And for CBS News to imply that they're the reason for this change is just disgusting. It's simply not true. And the fact, look, I don't know what to say here. You know, I really don't know what to say about the behavior and what's going on here. This is unacceptable. CBS News, shame on you. Shame on you. Shame on you. ORR began making these changes before Angie Salazar even got there. And then she's accelerated these changes. And the number of refugees contacted is not 700. It was already 1,100 over a week ago. Over a week ago. And the Afghan story is one I exposed on a trip to Rochester. But CBS News and the Free Press don't talk about that. Nobody that's covering this story anywhere in the world for any media outlet has gone all the places I've gone and covered this. Yet these bastards in the mainstream media continue to hide. They steal my content I'm not saying CBS, but mainstream media steals my content by watching the interviews I do with refugees, by watching my analysis, and then it suddenly appears in mainstream media, print outlets and broadcast. And I'm sick of it. I'm absolutely sick of it. No one has gone where I've gone. To Birmingham, Alabama. To Twin Falls, Idaho, to Dallas, Texas, to Pittsburgh, to Maryland, to Rochester. I have seen in person over 200 South African refugees out of the 3,500 that arrived by the end of February already in person. Nobody's done that. Nobody's interviewed 40 families. I'm sick of this nonsense. Stealing content and misleading the world. CBS News pretending like they're the great savior. They've exposed something. Madeleine Rowley did get onto something, but she talked to 10 individuals. And no update on how many more people she's talked to since then. And this is simply not factually true about ORR. They were making these changes long ago. I don't know where she's getting that idea from. This really pisses me off. I'm sorry. I'm sick of this crap. This is just nonsense. What say you? Cheers.